Did you know that what you eat for breakfast could be silently destroying your blood vessels right now? The terrifying truth is that thousands of seniors are suffering strokes each year from common breakfast habits they thought were completely safe. In fact, neurologists have discovered that what you consume in the first hour after waking creates the perfect storm for a potentially fatal stroke, especially after age 65. Stay with me for the next few minutes because I'm going to reveal the 5 most dangerous breakfast habits that could be putting you at risk this very morning and exactly how to protect yourself before it's too late. Patricia was 68 years old and seemed perfectly healthy. Every morning she followed the same breakfast routine she'd maintained for decades. She took pride in being independent and active in her community. Then one ordinary Tuesday, while preparing her usual breakfast, Patricia suddenly felt a wave of dizziness. Her coffee mug slipped from her hand, shattering on the floor. When she tried to call for help, her words came out slurred and her right arm hung uselessly at her side. Her neighbor found her collapsed on the kitchen floor 30 minutes later. At the hospital, doctors confirmed the devastating news. Patricia had suffered a major stroke. The shocking part: her neurologist explained that her daily breakfast habits had been silently damaging her blood vessels for years, creating the perfect conditions for this catastrophic event. Tragically, with a few simple changes to her morning routine, Patricia's stroke could have been completely prevented. Now let me share with you the 5 deadly breakfast habits that neurologists warn are causing strokes in people over 65 right now, including the silent killer at number 2 that gives absolutely no warning signs until it's too late. Habit 1. Starting your day with healthy fruit juice. Is that glass of orange juice you've been drinking every morning for years actually putting you on the fast track to a stroke? The disturbing answer might shock you. Medical researchers at Harvard Medical School have discovered that many commercial fruit juices, even those labeled 100% natural or no sugar added, contain as much sugar as a can of soda. Dr. Walter Willett, professor of nutrition at Harvard, warns consuming high-sugar fruit juices on an empty stomach creates a dangerous spike in blood glucose that can damage blood vessels, particularly in adults over 65 whose vascular systems are already compromised by age. Take Stanley, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. For over 20 years, Stanley religiously drank a large glass of all-natural apple juice every morning, believing he was making a healthy choice. What he didn't realize was that each glass contained over 24 grams of sugar, creating daily inflammation in his blood vessels. Stanley had no idea anything was wrong until he experienced a transient ischemic attack, mini-stroke, while reading his morning paper. His doctor traced the cause directly back to his juice habit and the resulting vascular inflammation. Here's what you need to do immediately. Replace that fruit juice with water infused with fresh fruit slices. If you must have fruit in the morning, eat a small portion of whole fruit where the fiber remains intact to slow sugar absorption. The fiber acts as a protective buffer, allowing your body to process the natural sugars safely. Don't wait until tomorrow. Make this critical switch at your very next breakfast. Are you questioning whether your morning beverages are silently damaging your brain? What other healthy habits might actually be putting you at risk right now? Habit 2. The silent killer. High-sodium breakfast. Meats. That seemingly innocent slice of bacon, sausage link or piece of ham alongside your morning eggs could be silently destroying your blood vessels with every bite, and you'd never know until it's too late. Cardiologists from the American Heart Association have definitively linked high-sodium processed breakfast meats to elevated blood pressure, arterial stiffness, and significantly increased stroke risk. Dr. Sarah Johnson, Director of Stroke Prevention at Mayo Clinic, states processed breakfast meats are perhaps the most dangerous morning foods for seniors. The combination of sodium, nitrates, and saturated fats creates a triple threat to vascular health that can trigger a stroke with absolutely no warning signs. Consider what happened to Eleanor, age 67. For years, she enjoyed 2 strips of bacon with her breakfast, unaware that each serving contained nearly 400 milliliters of sodium. Eleanor had no symptoms, and her regular checkups showed only slightly elevated blood pressure, which she dismissed as normal for my age. Then one morning, while reading her newspaper, she suddenly couldn't focus on the words. Her daughter noticed her confused expression and slurred speech, rushing her to the emergency room. The diagnosis: a severe ischemic stroke that left her with permanent speech impairment. Her neurologist explained that the daily sodium from breakfast meats had gradually weakened her vascular system until it finally gave way. You must take action today. Switch immediately to lower sodium protein alternatives like fresh sliced avocado, unsalted nut butter, or omega-3 rich salmon. These options actually strengthen your blood vessels rather than destroying them. For those who can't imagine breakfast without traditional flavors, look for specially formulated low-sodium turkey bacon that contains at least 70% less sodium than regular varieties. But use these sparingly and only as a transition to healthier options. How many times have you enjoyed bacon or sausage with breakfast this month? Are you willing to risk permanent disability for a few moments of familiar flavor? Habit 3. Relying on heart-healthy cereals with hidden dangers. Could the cereal you've trusted for years, perhaps even one with heart-healthy claims on the box, actually be increasing your stroke risk with every spoonful? Shocking research from the Cleveland Clinic reveals that many cereals marketed specifically to health-conscious seniors contain dangerous combinations of refined carbohydrates, hidden sugars, and chemical preservatives that promote arterial inflammation and damage. Dr. Michael Roizen, Chief Wellness Officer at Cleveland Clinic, explains, many older adults are being misled by misleading front-of-package health claims. Inside the box, we often find ingredients that rapidly convert to sugar in the bloodstream, creating the exact vascular conditions that precede most strokes in seniors. And take Thomas, a 70-year-old retired accountant who meticulously read nutrition labels and trusted the heart-healthy claims on his morning cereal. For years, he felt confident in his breakfast choice, never realizing that the highly processed grains were spiking his blood sugar and creating chronic inflammation. Despite having no family history of stroke, Thomas suffered a debilitating cerebrovascular event that left him unable to walk unassisted. His medical team identified his daily cereal, despite its health claims, as a significant contributing factor to the stroke. Here's your immediate action plan. Replace these deceptive cereals today with steel-cut oats topped with cinnamon and crushed walnuts. Studies show this combination actively repairs vascular damage while reducing stroke risk. The anti-inflammatory compounds in this simple breakfast have been shown to reduce stroke risk by up to 39% in adults over 65. Make this switch tomorrow morning. Your brain cannot afford to wait. Have you been trusting those heart-healthy labels without question? What other supposed health foods might be betraying your trust and endangering your life? Habit 4. Adding artificial sweeteners to your morning coffee. That innocent-looking packet of artificial sweetener you stir into your morning coffee could be more dangerous than regular sugar when it comes to stroke risk. Are you unknowingly consuming a brain-damaging chemical with your daily caffeine? Neurologists from Johns Hopkins Medicine have uncovered a disturbing link between certain artificial sweeteners and increased risk of stroke and dementia in people over 60. Dr. Rachel Morrison, neurologist and stroke specialist, warns, recent longitudinal studies show that daily consumption of artificial sweeteners may increase stroke risk by up to 23% in seniors. likely by disrupting the gut-brain axis and promoting vascular inflammation pathways that many consumers believe they're avoiding by skipping sugar. Consider Doris, who diligently used sugar substitutes in her coffee for over 15 years. At 71, she prided herself on maintaining her health and weight by avoiding real sugar. During a family brunch, Doris suddenly found herself unable to speak clearly, with the right side of her face drooping noticeably. The emergency room confirmed she had suffered a significant stroke. During her recovery, her neurologist pointed to her daily artificial sweetener habit as a likely contributing factor, explaining how these chemicals had gradually altered her vascular health despite her otherwise healthy lifestyle. Here's what you must do right away. Start using a small amount of raw honey instead, which contains beneficial compounds that actually support brain health, or simply adjust to enjoying your coffee unsweetened. If you must use a sweetener, switch to monk fruit extract, which studies suggest may have neuroprotective properties rather than destructive ones. Make this change with your very next cup of coffee. Don't wait until you finish the box of sweeteners you already purchased. Did you add an artificial sweetener to your coffee or tea this morning? Could this seemingly innocent habit be silently damaging your brain with every sip? Habit 5. Skipping breakfast. Entirely. Many seniors believe they're making a healthy choice by practicing intermittent fasting or simply not feeling hungry in the morning. But could rushing out the door without breakfast actually be putting your life at serious risk? Research published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology shows that skipping breakfast increases stroke risk by a staggering 87% in adults over 65. Dr. Valentin Fuster, director of Mount Sinai Heart, explains, when older adults skip breakfast, it triggers a cascade of stress hormones, including cortisol and adrenaline, while simultaneously creating dangerous fluctuations in blood pressure, essentially creating perfect conditions for a stroke, particularly in the morning hours when vascular events are already more likely to occur. Take William, a 73-year-old retired executive who prided himself on maintaining a busy schedule. For decades, he skipped breakfast, believing it helped him control his weight. William felt fine until he experienced a catastrophic stroke while driving to a morning appointment. His neurologist explained that years of breakfast skipping had created chronic stress on his vascular system, with each morning of fasting essentially aging his blood vessels beyond their chronological years. Here's your vital action step. Even if you don't feel hungry, consume something nutritious within 1 hour of waking. Even a simple breakfast of a hard-boiled egg and a piece of whole-grain toast can reduce your stroke risk dramatically by stabilizing blood pressure and reducing stress hormone production. If you truly can't eat a full breakfast, at minimum have a small protein-rich snack like a handful of unsalted almonds or a simple smoothie with plant protein and berries. Start tomorrow morning. This simple change could literally save your life. Do you regularly skip breakfast thinking it's harmless or even beneficial? Could this habit be silently damaging your brain each morning without any warning signs? These 5 deadly breakfast habits are shockingly common among adults over 65, yet few people realize the serious danger until it's too late. The terrifying reality is that many strokes occur without any prior warning signs. The first symptom is often the stroke itself. By eliminating these 5 deadly breakfast habits starting tomorrow morning, you can significantly reduce your risk and protect your independence and quality of life for years to come. Now you know exactly which deadly breakfast habits to eliminate immediately to protect yourself from a devastating stroke. Small changes to your morning routine today can mean many more healthy years ahead. You deserve to enjoy your golden years without the fear of a stroke cutting your life short or leaving you dependent on others for basic care. If this information helped you identify dangerous habits in your own breakfast routine, please hit the like button now and comment below which of these deadly habits surprised you the most. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our life-saving health advice for seniors. Share this video immediately with someone you love who's over 65. You might just save their life with this crucial information that most doctors won't tell you until it's too late.